Hello everyone, this is Lolly and I want to show you the swap I'm sending my swap partner for our paper clips for the end of 2023. So come take a look. So this year I thought I would package mine up a little differently, and I will show you underneath this video. Make sure you expand the information under there to look at all the links. I'll give you how I usually package mine up. I had this diary that I tore all the pages out of, and I thought I would just put a new inside into it. So I cut cardstock to match. I'm not giving them measurements because it really doesn't matter, since you are obviously going to have in your book a different measurements than this one. So I have a barely art in this. This is a thicker tip for me. I want to get these down there. It's a lot easier to cover a lot of territory when you have a wider tip. And this was a Lawn Fawn glue bottle that I filled with barely art once it was empty. And then this is a holder I got on Etsy that someone made. Got my Ergo bone folder here. And I'm just using the scraps that I have lying around, so whatever matches, matches. I cut 2 strips of this cloth tape that has to be moistened. Spread that around. It gets a little tacky. And I just want to cover the very end of that cardstock and go into the spine there. And I think what we need to do too is to get some of this reapplied right there, as it's kind of coming loose there. We don't want that. Okay, now let's get this one sprayed as well. Run my finger over that just to get it all the way moistened. You could feel when you're doing that, you could feel the moment it starts getting really sticky. I'm not worried about these meeting in the middle because I have a method to my madness. There we go. Now what I do is I cut a piece of cardboard the width of this, and I then folded, this is a file folder. Like I said, I'm just using scraps, so I have a 1/4 inch gusset in between each of these, and each of these is a 1/2 inch tall. I didn't use a die, I just measured it out. So now we want to get this down there, and clearly this is going to be something that just might want to travel or move out of my project, so I want to be really careful. I'm going to go with the heavy duty stuff here. I'm using Power Tack by Beacon because I would definitely not use a hot glue gun. So I'm centering this, and you will see that I made this not quite as tall. These 2 panels are 6 1/8, and I just made this 6 inches. So what I'm going to do is really quickly spread 2 of these apart here and just pinch that just to give it a little extra oomph. The other thing I'm thinking about is probably what I want to do is add a little eyelet here before I glue my pages in there. So I have my crocodile, and so I'm going to use the really fine hole, and I have to go between 2 of these gussets here. It doesn't matter which ones. There we go. Okay, so this is so thick that a tiny eyelet is not going to go through. So what I can do instead is something like this. I still want to do this before I get my papers in there. I think it'll just be easier for me. Perfect. Okay. Now let's start getting some pages in here. So again, I just grab my scraps. Let's make sure I've got this the way I want it. Grab my scraps, and I'm going to sandwich them on either side of this like that. And let's see, let's get the Well, first let's just get it glued to this this little segment right there before I worry about getting it glued to the other side. While that's setting, I'm going to work on this. Now I can do the whole piece, especially focusing on that bottom where it's going to be crossing, where it's going to be right here. Now, if you wanted to make this into a pocket, just glue the sides and the bottom, but not the top. So you don't want to seal that shut. Okay, now that I've got that, I can really give this a good burnish. And we have one page right there. Okay, next, let's use a blue one. Really smushing that on there. And then we want the other side. Okay, pretty good. And I have one more, and it's going to be this patterned paper again. This is a swap. So if you're interested in the paper clips, you will, I will give you a link down below to our paperclip art group on Facebook, and also to all of my paperclip videos. As I put these paper clips in, I'll tell you about them and the theme of each of them. And of course, underneath this video, you're also going to find a link to the tutorial for each one of these. Some of my paper clips are side loading like this. Some are top loading like this. These aren't necessarily in order, so I think I will go ahead and put them in here because this one is actually December, but he needs to come off the very, very edge of the paper. And December theme was a wild animal. So I did this koala. Isn't he adorable? He's pretty dang cute. Now he's going to stick out from my book. That's understandable because he's just the way he is. November theme was the ocean, and I have this mermaid. She is very adorable, but she is made to come in from the right, so I can't put her in this way. So she can go here. And there's a mermaid. Isn't she adorable? She's a shaker. October was shopping, and that is a vertical one. And September was science fiction or science, so I did these beakers. And then August was a flower, also a side loading. And July was a letter. I did W for Wonder Woman. So these are my three that are top loading. And this is my last side loading one. So my side loading ones are going to have to go like that. So I've got my three side loading ones. But what I need is to be able to also get these in here. So what we're going to do is put little pockets here or little bands to hold these. I know that this is 3 1/4 inch wide, but one of the things I do to make it just a pinch longer, put the paper clip on there first, like this. There we go. And then I'm going to glue it in afterwards because it gives me a little room. I don't want this flush against the, well, I didn't think about that. I have, that tape covers up part of this. So let's trim this down. This is actually going to bow a little bit, and that is going to help hold the paper clip up. If you just glue the pocket in flush against your background, then it's hard to get that paper clip in. That's why I put the paper clip on first. So we've got this one. And now I need to get 2 more in here, and let's definitely put one here. So let's cut another one of these. Let's do this one. And I'm putting that pretty low. Now we've got one more, so I can put this in. I'm concerned that my mermaid stuff might get a little tangled in here, and that is something that can happen. So one of the things you can do would be to put tissue paper in there, in between the layers. could put this here and still need tissue paper either way, so it doesn't really matter to me. Let's see here what we have. Make sure you sign the backs of your paper clips. I'm pretty sure I didn't, and I will need to do that. I'm also going to put a title on this so that she will know which year and which swap this was. So another thing I could do would be to make little notations here about what month each of these belong to. See how this fits. I see I'm having difficulty getting that W in there. Let's raise her. That helps a lot. And I'm going to pull that out sideways and see if that helps. It doesn't. So I'm just trying to figure out. I think I'm going to swap these out because this one is higher profile and it's flatter and it won't rub against. Wonder Woman, perfect. Now it can actually close better. So there is the book. Let's put some danglies on here. Let's do this. Let's hang this one with that paper clip. Now, how perfect would that be? There you go. You can't get any cuter than that. So I will make a little graphic for this that I can glue on there to reflect the which swap this is. So hang tight. I printed this out, and all I have to do is cut those out and glue them to the top and the spine. And I added, I think I'll add a little bit of lace to the top layer. I don't have a whole lot of room on the spine, so please give this video a thumbs up and follow me for more content by hitting that subscribe button. Okay, now this paper is a digital, is Echo Park I'd Rather Be Crafting, and it is one of the digital papers you can download. Now I got them from Snap Click Supply. There we go. I'll make sure I did get that right, and I did. We're going to need the Fabri-Tac for this because we're gluing it to fabric. I'm okay with leaving those glasses there. I think that's kind of cute, actually. And now I have this flat lace that I can put under here. It's just perfect. Oh my goodness. Couldn't ask for that to be more perfect. So let's glue this on first. And we're going to also use Fabri-Tac on this because it's going on lace. So the group in Facebook is about creativity. We do have these themes, monthly themes to inspire creativity, but there is an optional swap. The swap is not the focus of the group. Okay, so there you have it. I love how this turned out. So I did add the months and what the letters, what the themes were. I did change this. I didn't like it sticking all the way out from the book because I figured it would get crunched too much. So I made this kind of reverse pocket. It's glued here and here to hold him up there. And there is my collection to send her. So I will get this in the mail now.